Hey, welcome everyone to this new video. Today we're featuring, I think one of the strongest teams in the league. If I could, I'll probably be running this team the whole weekend. It involves a Primeape, which I actually love as a Pokemon ever since the Primeape episode from Pokemon, the original series. It also includes a Froslass, and I actually have one of my personal favorite picks, Drillbur or Excadrill. The reason why I like this team so much is because of the amount of utility that it has. So you have your Primeape, which is a great safe swap pick because it can take out basically any Pokemon weak to fighting, but on top of that, it has the ability to Night Slash Ghost types or Ice Punch Flying types. So it covers itself really well. The safe swap in this line is going to be the Froslass, and the reason is because Frost is a really solid safe swap. I play her incorrectly a couple of different times. I recommend if you have one or you have the opportunity to get one, it's definitely one of the more important PvP picks. The last Pokemon on this team is going to be Excadrill, and a lot of people consider Excadrill a bit of a spicy pick, but in my opinion, it's just really good. A lot of Pokemon just can't take a drill run from Excadrill because of how much damage it does. But on top of that, if it's super effective, you're almost guaranteed a one hit. I'm pretty sure that a Excadrill can actually one hit both an Empoleon and a Pelipper, which is super important when you run it. If you watch my previous video, it almost has as much pressure as a Shadow Electivire. If you like the video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and subscribe. If you think the team is really stupid or really cool, leave it in the comments, let me know. Other than that, let's get to some battles. So in game 1, I go against a really favorable matchup. It's a Zweilous, dark type, meaning that my encounters are just going to do some super effective damage. On top of that, I'm going to reach this Ice Punch before they reach their Body Slam. Now I want to mention, they actually catch her really well. I'm a little impressed by it. Good job on them. To respond to this, I'm actually going to bring out my Excadrill, which always should be the best response to a Froslass. The reason is because you outpace Froslass to their avalanches with Rock Slide, and they have to block the Rock Slide if they plan to survive. Bear in mind that I only need 5 Mud Shots to get to a Rock Slide, and they actually need 6 Powder Stones to get to an Avalanche. Right now, they should be at 9 Powder Stones, meaning that they have 3 more before they get to the next Avalanche. So I want to throw 3 Mud Shots after I had enough energy. That way, either CMP tie or get ahead of them. So my opponent's going to throw on their 14th Powder Stone because they don't want me to get to a Rock Slide first. I have to block this because I don't want to have wasted that energy either. My plan was to save a little extra energy and then throw a Rock Slide after I've overfarmed, but they switch in these Zweilous and go straight for a Body Slam, which doesn't kill me, and that's okay. What I should do is I actually should have instantly switched, but instead I go for a drone, which is the wrong call. You should not do that. You should definitely just go ahead and switch over to the Primeape and then go ahead and take it out. I undercharged my drone because I wanted to make sure that I had extra farm on my Primeape, so that way whatever comes out, I can go ahead and get some extra neutral damage on it. In this case, it was a Drapion, so I'm just going to throw Ice Punches to just do as much chip damage as possible against it. The Drapion can only get so much extra energy because if it waits too long, I'm actually going to be able to get to a Night Slash and take it out right away. It should throw a Cruncher, which should take me out. There it goes. Yeah, it takes me out. I bring out Extra because I know that it cannot farm me down, and I try to throw Drill Bun right away, but it gets caught on the Froslass, which is really good on my opponent. My opponent at this point has caught not 1 but 2 moves this round. I undercharged, which honestly I probably shouldn't have done because of how low the Drapion was, and it's going to actually go down to 2 Powder Stones at this point, which means that I didn't have to actually worry about underfarming here. I could have actually killed the Froslass and then just had my Drapion, or sorry, my Excadrill, farm the Drapion down or force him to throw a move. On to game 2. So in game 2, I met with a Pelipper, which is a really bad matchup, so I was switching to my Froslass in hopes of just getting some extra shields. They switch right away into their Sandslash, which is really bad for me, but the way I'm going to play this is that I'm not going to block any moves here, and I'm just going to throw straight Shadow Balls. Bulldoze doesn't do enough damage to really take on my Froslass, but on top of that, I'm okay with actually losing my Froslass here, because what will happen is that my Primeape will just come back and farm it down. They're throwing a second charge move here, which it should be Bulldoze, but it ends up being just another Ice Punch. I don't worry about it. I just charge up extra energy, and I'm actually going to throw an Avalanche here, which will either take them out or they're going to go ahead and shield it. Either way, I'm in a good position. So they let go of their Sandslash, and they bring Pelipper back out. I mean, I'm going to throw this Avalanche right away to try to get some chip damage on it. Since they decided to block it, I know for a fact that I only need to get 2 Rock Slides to take it out because a Pelipper goes down in 1 hit to my Sandslash. Their last Pokemon is a Whiz Catch, which is something I really don't want to see. Whiscash is a great Pokemon against Excadrill, so I can make sure that I focus most of the damage on my Primeape. In retrospect, I probably should have thrown earlier just to try to get a Night Slash trigger, but I think I was trying to actually bait them out and make them think that I had close combat or something. Either way, I knew they weren't going to block it. That was the thing. I mean, I definitely should have just gone for the Night Slash. I'm okay with just throwing Mud Bombs at me. If I go out, it's okay. At this point, I need to just save the shields for my Excadrill, not only for this Mudfish, but also for the Weather Balls that will come from the Pelipper. So my opponent blocking this actually gives me a really good win condition, because what I can do at this point is that I can over farm, take out this Whiscash, and then go ahead and get a Rock Slide for the Pelipper. So what they try to do is they actually try to catch my Drill Run on the Pelipper, which would have been really bad for me, but I was being really diligent about it. They actually then try to snipe me with a Weather Ball, which is fine with me, because at that point I can still go ahead and get this Rock Slide to take out the Pelipper, and then Drill Run the Whiscash for the game. This drone should easily take out the Whiscash. There goes, and there goes game 2. On to game 3. So in game 3, I'm started off with a very favorable matchup of Abomasnow. They switched into Pelipper, and then I misclicked switch into my Froslass. What I should have done is I should have switched into my Excadrill, because I can actually survive one Weather Ball, and I can go ahead and finish off the Pelipper with triple or double Rock Slides. Unfortunately for me, I know that the Pelipper actually wins this match over here when they're ahead of 1 energy, so there's nothing I can really do here. I try to focus on getting just some shields. If I can get 2 shields out of this, then I'm in a great position. But that being said, I had to let go of shield for that. On top of that, I actually let them farm me down, which is really bad. That's the one thing I didn't want to do over there. Because I let it farm me down, I'm now in an extremely bad position for both my Pokemon. So I can try to do one of 2 things. I can try to force him to throw energy over here on my Primeape, and then go ahead and Rock Slide it down with a Excadrill, or I can try to get a Night Slash. At this point, since they baited, I'm actually going to go for the Night Slash and hope that my Excadrill can take out both their back Pokemon. After this Pelipper goes down, I'm going to instantly switch into my Excadrill and start trying to farm energy, because I know that I win CMP against the Abomasnow, but when they bring out the Whiscash, I know the game is over, so I go ahead and concede. Game 4's lead is a relatively even matchup. I'm going against a Shadow Machamp. The problem with this match is I can't just go for a Night Slash, because it doesn't do enough damage. In addition to that, Shadow Machamp can pretty much take out about half of Primeape's health with 1 Cross Chop. The only benefit I have is that Primeape actually wins CMP tie most of the time. Because I got a shield here, I'm actually willing to let my Primeape go, and I'm going to try to commit to the farm down with my Froslass. If I can commit to this farm down, I can actually have a lot of extra energy on the next Pokemon that comes out. With a fully loaded Froslass, anything that comes out will be seriously threatened by both Avalanche or Shadow Ball. With Shadow Machamp down, they bring out Whiscash, so I instantly throw the Avalanches. I can't really afford to let this Whiscash see my Excadrill, so I'm just going to put as much pressure here as possible. Because they are solo and that Whiscash actually low in energy, they have to block this Avalanche. At this point, we have the Excadrill set up with a 2-1 shield advantage in the last matchup, so at this point, I'm not worried about anything. I don't block this charge move because at the end of the day, I knew it was going to be Mud Bomb because I completely resist Blizzard. They're able to catch this Avalanche on their, I think it was a Sand Slash, yeah, Sand Slash, which is not great, but that's okay because at the end of the day, my Excadrill can come out here and go straight for the Drill Run and finish this game off. With this last Pokemon out, they're going to bring the Whiscash back out, but because I'm going to get to a Drill Run before they get to 2 Mud Bombs, this game is over. They throw their first Mud Bomb here, and then I'm going to go ahead and get 1 Mud Shot, and then we're probably going to CMP tie for the Drill Run versus Mud Bomb from the Whiscash. And there goes game 4. In game 5, I pick up a good lead. It's a Empoleon. I know they're going to switch out into the Froslass here just because it's such a bad matchup for them. At this point, I was trying to decide if I should stay in or go out. The thing is, if I switch out, I can't switch out into the Froslass, which is what I really want to do, and I don't really want to switch into the Excadrill because I think that Excadrill's Drill On will be more useful against the Empoleon. At this point, I'm just going to try to throw out Night Slashes to really put more pressure on because they blocked the first Night Slash. With this second shield down, I know that I'm in a position again where I can kind of do what I want. If I let this Machamp or my Primeape go, it's fine. If I want to come back in with my Excadrill to finish it off, I can also do that. Either way, it's okay. I decided to keep it because I don't know what the last Pokemon is going to be, and I didn't want to get switch locked. If I had switch locked my Excadrill versus a Whiscash, it would be really bad for me, so I want to just avoid that at all costs, which is why I stayed in. When I see the Trevenant, I instantly switch into my Froslass to go for the Avalanche. I know the Froslass will reach the Avalanche before they can reach the Shadow Ball. The one concern I was having is whether they might actually switch into the Empoleon and catch the Avalanche move. Anyhow, with Empoleon here, I know that I would reach the Shadow Ball before they reach the Hydro Cannon, so I can go ahead and Hydro Cannon here, and because it'll be so low, I can basically farm it down with my either my Prime or my Excadrill at this point. I go ahead and bring on my Excadrill because I feared they would throw no matter what. I was hoping they would throw a Drill Peck here, but they throw a Hydro Cannon, but that's okay. When he doesn't take out my Excadrill in one hit, I actually switch into my Prime to go ahead and try to get the farm down and snipe down the Empoleon before it can get off a second move. And there goes game 5. Because of how the meta turned out being, I think this is probably one of the stronger teams that are out there right now. I think the 3 most popular Pokemon in this current meta is going to be Empoleon, the second one is going to be Froslass, and the last one is actually going to be probably the Trevenant. The great thing about Primeape is that it has really good play against those key players. In addition to that, even if you saw like a Noctowl or like a Pidgeot, there's still pretty okay play against those as well. The weakest point of this thing is probably going to be like a Hypno with Fire Punch, because it can actually play really well against all 3 of your Pokemon. That being said, due to the increase in ghost types, I hadn't seen a lot of Hypnos out there, which is really nice. If you think there's a better team out there that you want to play for the weekend, let me know. I thought this was a really good team. I think this is probably the best team that I could probably run this weekend, but you know, I'm willing to play other Pokemon as well. If there's a team you want to see showcase, put in the comments. I'm more than happy to try it out and do a full video on it. Anyhow, stay safe and good luck in the Battle League.